welcome back to the show. And on Tampa Bay's Morning Blend, one of our favorite segments is rooted in Florida. And we have been blessed by some wonderful updates from our dear friend, Dr. Whitney Elmore, as she's been keeping us busy in our yards, telling us what to do, what not to do when it comes to horticulture. Well, we wanted to catch up with her and actually interview her for a second because it's been a while. It's been too long. Whitney, how have you been?
I am doing very well. I honestly cannot complain. I am quite blessed. Everybody is quite healthy in my family and my world. So no complaints here.
You know what? That's what we sometimes need to remind ourselves. Maybe we're going a little stir crazy, but we're healthy, and that's what matters.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
speaking of health, the extension office there, I know you have been used to making changes and adapting to situations in the past. So what did you guys do? COVID-19 happens. How have you been able to change and still help the community?
Of course, it was a tremendous shock to everybody, and I can't say that it was necessarily easy, but for extension, all across the state and really all across the nation, this change and this adaptability and flexibility is kind of at our core, and we're used to going with the flow and meeting demands and needs from the public really at a moment's notice. It's kind of like shifting gears just constantly throughout the day. You may be doing an interview with folks on the news. You may be writing an article. Yeah, you may be teaching a class. All of that in the same day and consulting with folks. Walk-ins or folks on the phone or through email. So we're used to adapting and flexing at any given moment. So when the pandemic really started to take hold, everybody went into lockdown. My colleagues, not only in my office, but across the state, just really embraced it. It was something that we didn't run from. We embraced it. We tried to meet the need across the programmatic board from horticulture all the way over to livestock management, and even economic development and everything in between, and really trying to provide the most up-to-date information about COVID-19, pumping out information on our websites and our social media to try to help folks not just stay safe, but also adapt in their particular situation, and also understand that we wanted them to physically distance, but not socially distance. So we were focused on the whole person, what's going on inside and outside of the home, in their business, but also inside at the same time. So we stood up all kinds of programs, and we've worked. The county boundaries went down very quick, the state boundaries went down very quick, and we've worked very, very hard to meet as many different needs as possible, all across the state.
Well, let's go ahead and, people, of course, we've chatted with you several times about your website and how many resources that are out there. You've taken even more programs and made them virtually, and some of the well-known programs that you're able to do, like the 4-H program, because again, you're a wealth of knowledge. You want to help the youth. Let's talk about how people can get involved during this time.
Absolutely. So, when everything first started, we were in full preparation mode for the summer camps, where kids, physically from all over the state go and get together and do just dozens of activities. So our extension agents all across the state of Florida came together and developed just these fantastic virtual summer camps, everything from astrology all the way over to gardening, or astronomy, sorry, not astrology, everything all the way over to gardening and how to take care of their animals and training and whatnot. So, we really tried to stand up as many programs that would give the kids, access to each other, but also access to the best information that was out there, and keep them active, and keep them engaged.
Whitney, you are a wealth of knowledge. We always say how we ask you questions all the time, every time we see you in studio. A lot of people perhaps started gardening. We know some contributors on our show said, hey, I took up gardening for the first time. What do you want people out there to know if they run into maybe a general question or a specific question? Because I know you don't want people to hesitate to reach out to you.
Absolutely. We welcome any kinds of questions about anything horticulture related. And when everything really started to pick up speed with the pandemic, we saw folks going back to kind of that core of wanting to be more self-sufficient, growing their own fruits and vegetables. And we had, just dozens of folks around the area calling and asking how they could get involved with community gardens, which we have a vast program in Pasco County. And then also, how could they garden at home, especially in small spaces or even on their patios if they, maybe lived in a condo. So we were able to provide them with video training, with virtual plant clinics that our master gardeners offer, so that they could actually call in and connect to somebody virtually since they weren't able to walk in at the time. And we could walk them through all different kinds of scenarios and potential problems and get them started with gardening. Some folks were just looking to plant some flowers and maybe take the opportunity to redo some of their landscaping around the home. We were able to help them do that right. And, it was kind of like we were right there at home with them. We could be right there virtually. So we were actually able to seize the opportunity to engage even better than in person in this case.
Well, Whitney, I can attest there's no such thing as a dumb question, because you have fielded many of mine and you do it very happily and very kindly. So again, we want to make sure and stress, reach out. The Pasco County Extension Office is where to go. Whitney, we miss you. Virtual hug. We kind of did one earlier. It's so good
back at you
again. We love our Rooted in Florida segments. Hey, take care, okay?
Thank you so much. You too.
And our show will continue in just a moment. Stay right there.